Good afternoon. Let me put it differently. As a mechanical engineering student, I am proud to be standing here after one of the members from the ladies' hostel has spoken. Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, all the teachers. I'm not going to give any gyan or bhashan, but I'd like to talk about some of the experiences that I've had in this institute. I remember myself walking into Rajpath with a lot of trepidation one fine day, probably holding my dad's hand. A guy who has never stepped out of the cocoons of a village township kind of situation, walking into such a big institute, wondering what I'm going to do. And those are the days we didn't have IMS, we didn't have anything. And there I saw the first, the tallying, counseling human software in action, standing in front of a big board and deciding the fate of each of us, in which department you're going to get into and what you're going to do. And that was one good experience, and then I saw a lot of people, made a lot of friends there. Then came the phase of, I do not know if you use the word any longer here, disciplining by seniors, right? So again, for a lot of us who were introverts, shy, not outgoing, didn't know how to react, didn't know how to manage adverse situations, didn't know how to comply to orders without asking any questions. We got a lot disciplined, right? And when we got such discipline, and we didn't fail giving that back to our juniors, right? We really wanted that culture to follow. So again, I do not know if such disciplining approach is here any longer, but perhaps we should look at institutionalizing some of those disciplining approaches. Then came the aspect of getting into class and studying, and again being part of the mechanical engineering batch. We were relegated to one corner in the main building, and the only sight of ladies or girls was from our so-called balcony into the library. And many of us learned to much before India won gold in javelin throw, we were good in winning gold using chalks, right? Chalk pieces. So we learned a lot. Again, campus interviews came. We hustled. We found our job. We came into this big bad world. A lot of us have succeeded significantly, but nobody has failed. And that's what I thank this institute for. All of us have made our mark in this world. And there is something that binds us. I'll tell you a story. I was in the train a day before yesterday, and there was a lady sitting in the opposite berth, and I didn't know who she was, right? And then comes this message in the group, I'm in this coach, I'm in seat number 43. She says, oh, you're in seat number 43, I'm in seat 45. Are you REC? And then there was Bindu Joyce, and then, it didn't take a minute to kindle that kind of warmth and camaraderie and then start that conversation. That is something that I do not know how to explain. That's something that binds us all. And I really hope that in the Golden Jubilee, the same kind of camaraderie continues, and we continue doing all of that. Few things that I've learned in my 4 years here and much beyond is that somewhere our teachers taught us to be, while mindful of being disciplined, etc., they taught us to be a bit more carefree, right? The kind of life that we had in the campus, I don't see my kid having in the campus she has got into. The kind of time that we had to pursue a lot more extracurricular, the amount of free time we had to pursue whatever we want, I don't see this probably the current generation having that. They're so focused on academics, internships, apprentice, reaching out to senior alumni, trying to find an internship in first semester, trying to get a job placement. Somewhere I think we were the lucky batch, which were much more carefree and what do you call, we were the kids of fate. We left everything to fate, and fate didn't fail us, right? So, and here we are, and thank you for giving the opportunity to speak, and really grateful, to this institute. When I walked in, I couldn't explain when this Panjavadyam was going on, and somebody said, come, let's take a photograph. I was at loss for words, trying to figure out what is it, where have I come to? On both sides looked very different, but Rajpath, the main building, and the old REC Calicut board said, yes, you are in the right place, and you are in midst of right set of people. So thank you so much, everybody. Glad to be here, and I really wish to see all of us in the 50th reunion. Thank you.
Thank you, Sriram. Thank you so much. Next, let me invite Anurag Johri.